10,000 honeybees hang from a branch in a living cluster. They have just left their old hive, and they are homeless. Somewhere out there is a hollow tree that will decide whether this swarm lives or dies before winter, and they will choose it by voting. No queen gives the order. The queen is buried inside the cluster, helpless, just another body being kept warm. There is no leader. There is no boss bee. And yet in a few hours, these 10,000 insects will agree, almost unanimously, on a single hole in a single tree miles away. How do they do it without anyone in charge? It starts with a few hundred scouts. These are the oldest, most experienced bees, and they fly out in every direction to search. Each one is hunting for the same thing, a cavity that is dry, defensible, and just the right size. When a scout finds a promising spot, she flies back and does something strange. She dances. On the surface of the cluster, she runs in a tight figure eight and waggles her body. The direction she points tells the other bees which way to fly. The length of the dance tells them how far. And here's the part that matters. The better the site she found, the longer and harder she dances. A mediocre hole gets a few tired loops. A perfect hollow tree gets a wild, repeated, exhausting performance. She's not describing her site, she is voting for it. And the strength of her vote is proportional to how good the site actually is. Other scouts watch. Some fly out to inspect the site for themselves. If they agree it is good, they come back and dance for it too. If they are unimpressed, they simply stop. Nobody argues. Nobody is overruled. Support for a great site grows because more bees keep choosing to advertise it. And support for a weak site fades because its dancers give up and go quiet. Now several sites are competing at once. Different scouts, dancing in different directions, each pulling for a different tree. This is where it could fall apart. If the swarm splits and flies two ways, it dies. So the bees do something that looks almost political. Thomas Seeley, a biologist at Cornell who spent decades studying this, found that scouts committed to one site will actively silence the scouts dancing for a rival site. A bee will walk up to a competing dancer, give a tiny buzz, and headbutt her. It is called a stop signal. It means, enough, drop it. The clever part is who gets headbutted. Seeley found the bees mostly butt heads, with scouts from a different site, not their own. Two camps, each trying to shut the other one down. And the more scouts a site has, the more stop signals it can throw. So a popular site doesn't just grow louder, it grows better at silencing the competition. Slowly, one site pulls ahead. Not because it was declared the winner, because it kept gathering dancers while draining its rivals of theirs. The swarm never takes a full count. It waits for a threshold. Once a scout arrives at a site and finds it already crowded with 15 or 20 other scouts, that quorum is the signal. The decision is made. The scouts rush back and blast through the cluster, and 10,000 bees lift off toward a home most of them have never seen. Here is what should unsettle you. Seeley pointed out that this is almost exactly how your brain makes a decision. Groups of neurons each vote for an option. Each tries to inhibit the competing groups, and no single neuron is in charge. There is no boss cell in your head either. When you finally pick a restaurant or a job or a person, it feels like you decided. But underneath, rival clusters of neurons were dancing and headbutting until one crossed a threshold, and only then did the feeling of choosing arrive. You are not the leader of your own mind. You are the cluster. If this is how you want to see the small machinery running everything you do, subscribe and stay curious. So the next time a decision feels like it was simply yours, remember the branch. 10,000 bees, no leader, headbutting in the dark until a hollow tree won the vote.